Um, Leanna. Hello, everyone. God bless you. Welcome to our very first broadcast for women around the globe. I did let you all know a couple of weeks ago as we were finishing the Arise segment that we would be coming to you live a couple times a month, hopefully weekly, as we continue to build relationships, talking with other women from different parts of the world to just see what's happening where they are, to find out what they are doing in ministry, and to also just talk about real life issues. If you guys would do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the share button, let someone know that we are on. We are so excited today to have with us this beautiful young woman that I met. And I guess she's got to tell me once you get on how you even were able to find me online and how you even made the connection initially. But we are talking with Minister Bridgid Lomana. I hope I'm saying that right. If not, correct me when you come on. But Minister Bridgid Lomana, she's from Kenya. And she is going to talk with us today, and we're just going to chit chat. It's going to be a very organic conversation. We talked a little earlier today, and I said, hey, we're not even going to rehearse this. I'm not going to send you a whole list of questions. We're just going to talk as women and get to know one another and just talk about some of the things that affect women everywhere, especially women in ministry. So we're so excited to have her on with us today. So we're not going to prolong the time. Now, guys, I want to tell you this. We were having some audio connection issues because of the long distance. So audio and visual. So what we're going to do is I also have her on the phone with me. So if we're not connecting via the StreamYard platform, then you'll be able to at least hear what it is that she is saying. So if you don't get a chance again to see her talking, just kind of listen into the conversation so that we can go ahead. But hey, Bridgid, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm
fine. Thank you so much for joining in with me. I have been communicating with you for some time on Facebook, and I guess I'm curious. I don't know if I ever asked you or not, but how did you connect with my ministry and start following me on social media?
Thank you. I'm so happy that I'm talking to you today. Okay, I was listening to, I like following this, the speaker there is called Dr. K, and then you went live with him on social media, and I felt with the story you are giving, how you managed to be a single mother, and then it just touched my heart, and I felt it because I know, okay, like I'm a young mother and I know how it feels like. I'm still young, but when I look around the globe, when I look around the people around me, and I have also experienced it, I felt it, and that's how I really wanted to connect with you.
Wow, well, thank you. And you know what? Was actually back in September, I believe. It was actually in September. And guess what, Bridgid? What a lot of people did not know is that that interview actually happened a day before I got divorced. I was scheduled to go to our attorney's office for us to meet and finalize our divorce the next day. And Dr. Jacob called me and he said, hey, I can do the interview with you on Tuesday. And it took everything in me to decide to just get up the street to do the interview. But I knew it was something that I needed to do in order to just continue the work of ministry. I was like, I can't let what I'm going through personally stop me. I know that there is some woman somewhere who needs to hear my testimony, who needs what God has put in me. So I called him back and I said, hey, I'm coming. In fact, he didn't even know exactly what was happening. He didn't know. We had talked a little bit, and I told him I was going through a divorce, but he didn't even know that I was getting divorced the next day. I said, God, I'm not even going to be distracted by personal things, but I felt the push and the urge to do the interview. And I'm so glad that I did, because I've connected with so many women from other countries, not just yourself, but maybe 15 or 20 women that inbox me on a regular basis, women that have bought the book Rescue Me, that say, Lady Danielle, I heard your testimony. So thank you so much for following. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Bridgid.
Okay. I come from Kenya. Like, you know how Kenya, and it's a poor country, it's harsh condition, and people are like, okay, my ministry, Ella.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Clean to women and children.
Okay, so the ministry that you are a part of, is there a particular name of the ministry? I knew this was going to happen, guys. Hold on. Is she still there, Leanna?
Ministry.
Okay, we lost you for just a moment. So can you start over telling us about your ministry?
Okay, under KAG Ministry, KAG Women Ministry. Can you get me?
Yes, I got you now. You said
Yes, I got you now.
Women's Ministry?
Women's Ministry? Yeah, KAG Women Ministry. Okay, I am inspired to see women being empowered, coming out of their harsh conditions, because I realized the women are going through hard things. They are going through some stuffs. Most of them, they are silent. Most of them, they can't get help. So I'm coming up with programs like organizing conferences, asking these great women to come and speak to them, like, and encouraging them and pushing them hard. So that's what I do, like pushing them to Jesus, calling them to Jesus, because he's the only one who can heal us. He's the only one who knows what we are going through. And that's what I'm doing, like organizing conferences, organizing seminars for women, and mostly I'm dealing with the women, but I also want to organize conferences for young people, because those are the upcoming leaders. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Well, that sounds like such a great work. How did you start, or what prompted you to start working in the women's ministry?
Okay, in 2018, I had to organize for a conference. Okay, like when I'm always sitting down and figuring out and seeing women going through stuff, and their children, they're going through stuff, like they're in harsh marriages, like they're just going through, like those ones who are in marriages, they're being beaten by their husbands. Like mostly in Kenya, women are just into a lot, being divorced day and night. Okay, like someone just pregnant you and leave you there. Again, you get another one, you think they are serious with life. Again, they give you another pregnant, and then they dump you there. So, like women, they're going hurting after hurting after hurting, and they don't get a solution. So I thought, like, if these women, they can only just realize how valuable they are in Jesus Christ, and how they can. Okay, like I saw most women, when they have gone through an abuse, they decide like to live their life to, like they see like they have no value, so their self-esteem is down. They start drinking, they start being just having no direction of life. So I thought maybe if I can empower them and show them how important they are, and show them they're not an accident, and what happened does not define their future. And that's how I started like being into this ministry of women, because my desire is to see these women being empowered, because when they are empowered, their families will be saved and their children will not suffer the same thing. Yeah.
Wow. That seems like such a great mission to accomplish with these women. And I know you and I were talking earlier. Were there some personal experiences that you had as well that prompted you, outside of you seeing what was going on around you? Were there some personal things that happened with you that made you decide, yes, God, this is something that I need to do to help empower other women?
Yes. Okay. I can say a little bit about me.
Okay.
When I came out from school, when I finished my high school,
Okay.
when immediately I just came out of the school, I found a boy, and I thought it was my first time like falling in love. Okay, I can say in Africa is different from the States. Like in States, maybe the parents, they always start teaching their children while they are growing. But in Africa, like you are, until you are grown is when you are meeting with some stuffs. So after my high school, I met with okay, actually we were schooling with the same boy.
Okay.
Who pregnanted me. Okay, like I fall in love with him, and then he promised me heaven, and then I had to fall into that trap, not knowing what was ahead of me, and not having a vision. And I had no mother to talk to me, to give me the right direction, and I just got lost. And then on my own world, I ended up getting pregnant, and after getting pregnant I was dumped. So I had to go through with this pregnant, yet I'm poor. I have nothing at all, nothing at all. And I remember when I was going to give birth, I had nothing, completely nothing, and no support from anyone. But I thank God that there was a woman who stood with me. And then after giving birth, I still went through some stuff, lack of things. Like I had no one to support me. I started like falling in love with other men, because they cannot support me without like falling in love with me. That's the trend that is going on right now.
Right.
Like if someone has to help you, like they have to have something in return. And then okay, like I was in a situation that, and I wasn't that strong in Christ. Okay, maybe I was strong, but not that strong enough. So I was stomaching here in one relationship to another one, just trying to find something to cling on. And it went on and on, and then there is a day I stopped and I said no. I took a mirror and looked myself in the mirror and I said no, I can't go on like this. I can't fall into the trap of men again, and I just want to change a life of a person. And I started writing songs, and I started singing songs, because that's also my talent of singing and writing songs and writing spoken words. And then my life turned out and became good. God was on my side. God really came into me and he showed me the right way to go. And then again in 2019, 2018 again, I went into another relationship. And when I went into another relationship, I was just happily into that relationship. It ended up into marriage. I was just happy until when I got pregnant in 2020. That's when things again turned out against me. I went back crying and I was already pregnant and I couldn't do anything, and now I was left again alone. And now I remember the first time when I gave birth to my first child and I said, I won't do it again. And then now this time I've fallen into another trap of men, someone whom I thought he loved me, but he didn't. It turned out to be something else. And I remember when I was going to give birth, I tried to call him. He didn't pick even the call. Wow. I just cried like the whole day and it was so painful. And then after giving, okay, like in that, when I was in that pain and crying and sobbing before I gave birth, immediately I gave birth, I felt like the pain has gone away. And that's when I said, if I've gone through this pain, there is no any other pain in the world that will shake me. And that's when again I started becoming strong. I said, if I've gone through that, there is nothing else can shake me. And then I had to stood, and then I had to take my baby, and I took it as my own burden. For now, I always take my children as my burden. I don't look. I don't always encourage myself. I always hold on one second. Okay.
Okay, we're back. And so and that's an interesting testimony that you have, because I do have to ask you this. And you were married with the second situation, when you were saying that the gentleman didn't come to the hospital even when you were giving birth to your child, this was your husband, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, that's
Okay, this was my husband.
mhm.
It was my husband, and when I got pregnant is when he divorced me.
Oh wow.
He started having like another women, and that, so he divorced me. So I carried the pregnant alone, all along. And when I was going to give birth, I had nothing again, like no one to support me. So I had to call him, like, to pay the bills and to do stuff, but he didn't turn out. So like it pained me, but after giving birth, I like it gave me the strength. And then I had to speak to myself, like, if I've gone through this, then there is nothing that I cannot go through. Like there is nothing else that can beat me more than what has already beaten me. Yeah.
And that's a great outlook to have.
And that's a great outlook to have.
Our stories
Yes.
are very similar. We have been through. So let's talk about ministry some, because I know that people look at even what you talked about, and we can see now that we as women go through the same thing no matter where we are. Relationships, we have issues in relationships. We deal with divorce. We deal with having to raise children by ourselves. There is no real meaning to family anymore. And see, that's what the enemy wants. The enemy wants to disconnect families, tear husbands and wives apart, leave mothers by themselves, because family is the foundation of the church. And the enemy knows that if he can destroy that foundation, then there won't be a church. That's why there's so many people that don't attend services regularly, why the Christian faith is diminishing. When you look at the numbers and you see that there are not as many people that are Christians and that still attend church, whether it's on social media or not. And it is because the family has been broken apart. And I truly believe that, because we know that when we don't have husbands that's leading families, then fathers that's leading their children, because they are supposed to be the head, and when they are out of place, the family is out of place. And when all of that's out of place, then the God is not able to do everything that he wants to do, because the order of things has been shifted. Even in ministry, when you go in churches nowadays, you see way more women than you see men. And I know people want to be judgmental and say, well, it's because this or that is going on in the church. Well, if men were to come together and stick and stay with their families and understand that the role is not to just be a provider. See, a lot of men feel like if I pay the bills, then that's enough. I don't have to be the priest of my house. I don't have to be the prophet of my house. I don't have to protect. I'm going to work. I got a good job and I'm buying this or that. And those are some of the things that I've even experienced in my own personal relationships. It's just like, hey, I don't just need you to pay the bills. I need somebody who is going to be a priest, who is going to provide and lead us and guide us in the word of God, in the things of God. Somebody that can pray for me. Because when we start talking about being in ministry, I know one of my biggest struggles has been, I know that God called me from a young girl to be in ministry. I've always had a prophetic gift. I'm one of those people that if I lay down and go to sleep and I see it, oh, it's coming to pass. And as I was learning and developing in that gift, I needed to have somebody by my side, my mate, that was able to say, I see the God in you. I see what God is doing, and I want to be that person that can help to foster that. And unfortunately, though, Bridgid, it's hard to find someone who is willing to say, I can put myself out of the way for a moment. I can put the attention off of myself for a moment so that you can flourish and become all of what God wants you to become. So was your husband in ministry also, or were you the only one that was working in ministry? Say that one more time. I didn't hear you.
connection a little bit.
Okay, I said, was your husband in ministry also, your ex-husband, or were you the only one in ministry?
Okay, like the first one, like actually it wasn't a marriage. It was just a relationship and I got pregnant and then had to raise the child. The second one is the one that was a marriage.
Okay, and did you all work in ministry together, or he wasn't
Did you
affiliated
all
with
work
the
in
ministry?
ministry? No, we didn't work together in any ministry. I was just alone in the ministry.
Okay, got you. So tell me about being a woman in ministry. Let's shift this just a little bit, because I know being in ministry, one of the other things that you may face where you are in Kenya that women here face is being accepted as a woman in ministry. There's lots of people that feel like women shouldn't minister, women shouldn't pastor, women should not be in authoritative positions at all. Do you get that opposition where you are?
Can you please repeat? I just lost your connection a little bit.
Okay, I said, where you are, do you have an issue with people accepting you in ministry? Other men, do men accept women in ministry easily where you are?
Okay, yes, like women, like as a woman being in the ministry and as young as I am, like people sometimes, mostly they won't take me serious. And then I find opposition from some ladies, like, I don't know how they look at me. You know how human beings, they can look at your age, they can look at your size of your body, like they won't know what is inside you, so they will just start fighting you for no reason. And I've experienced that. Like last time I was planning for a conference, like I faced a lot of challenges. More, I faced like oppositions, and then until one day I asked God, why did you place me here if you can't be with me? Then God just reminded me that if I have to be strong, then I have to go through some steps. Like I have to face opposition, and I have to learn to be strong. So, like being in ministry as a woman, it's not easy, because you will find some people not seeing what you're carrying. Rather, they will start like criticizing you, looking your past, and judging you. And then there is also another thing, because I'm single, so like they will always be looking into my life, what I'm doing, whom I'm talking to. Like that's how the humans are, and they are ready to criticize me. And all in all, I just have to be strong. That's what I have to, because no matter what I do, if I do the right, if I do the wrong, they will still stand and criticize me. They will still stand and point fingers on me. Like they will still stand and try to bring me down, to pull me down. Like sometimes you will find people not supporting you at all, at all. So that's when you find yourself like going to God, and you feel like you're lonely, and then that's how you face it when you are in ministry. Most of the time I always tell God, if just as you promised Joshua that I'll be with you, and I believe that you'll be with me. That's always my prayer, that God will always be with me. He is the only one who understands the inner me. People will be looking at the outer me, but God knows the inner me. And that's what I've been through, like being in a ministry. It's not easy. Finding opposition, being criticized, being looked down upon. That's what I've gone through.
It is very difficult.
It is very difficult. And
opposition sometimes comes from both men and women.
Yes.
Yes. So we only have about 2 minutes left and we've got to wrap things up. Because we were having video problems, I do want to have you come on again and maybe we will be able to get some video so that everyone can see your beautiful face. But I just want to thank you for sharing with us today, giving us your story and being transparent about some of the things that you've been through. Because I know, even with what I have been through in life, I mean, my oldest daughter is 27 years old, and 27
Yeah.
years ago, some of the things that happened, they still hurt a little bit today. Some of the things that I've went through, but I
Yeah.
also know that just like you said, we got to keep going. I decided to take on the responsibility of my children, and I am glad, I am grateful for every experience that I had because it made me stronger. You know, things that I didn't think that I could accomplish by myself, but because I had a strong, firm faith. And I just want to say this to everybody that's watching, and then I'm going to give you a moment to give your final statement, Bridgid. But women that's watching that are single mothers for whatever reason, whether you were married and got divorced or where you were never married before, I want to let you know that God has your back because there's this thing called grace. See, religion and religious people and people that just don't want to see you make it, they wouldn't try to make you believe that because you had a child out of wedlock or because your spouse left you and you're raising that child by yourself, that you are less than, or that you can't accomplish things that other women accomplish because you're doing it by yourself. But I am standing here today as a firm testimony to let you and the devil know that the devil is a liar, and so are you if you think that, because we are able to, as women, excel in being entrepreneurs, excel in ministry, excel in educational arenas, excel in different areas of life, and be able to take care of our children whether or not we have the help or support. Yes, I believe in marriage. I love being a wife. I absolutely love being a wife. If it were my choice or decision, I would still be married right now. I believe in the institution of marriage. I believe that God ordained marriage, and I believe that He hates divorce. I hate divorce. However, that's my lot right now. So I'm back being a single parent once more. But guess what? I know, Bridgid, that God's got me. And guess what? He's got you. You continue to push. You continue to move forward. It does not matter who walks away from your life. You know what I've adopted and say, hey, it's your loss. Any man that does not want to be a part of this beautiful, illustrious woman of God's life, guess what? It's your loss because I'm going to push on. I'm going to press on. I am going to be all that God called me to be. And Bridgid, so will you. So I just want to encourage you. You keep doing what you're doing. 27 years old. Man, let me tell you something. When I was 27, I never thought today would come because it was so challenging. But now I look at life and I say, hey, I can go through anything because if God did it before, He can do it again. You've got so much ahead of you. You keep pushing, my sister. Keep being encouraged. Keep doing the things of God and know that God's got you. He's got your back. He's going to help take care of you and those little babies. And I do believe, in fact, I speak and prophesy over your life right now that He is going to send a godly man who is going to love you, help take care of those babies, and be dedicated to family until death do you part. That's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on, and I know and believe that God's going to give me the same thing. So I prophesy over your life, and for any woman that's watching that you feel like, hey, I've been rejected. I don't have that mate. I don't have that person by my side. Well, I prophesy over your life today. If you continue to walk in the things of God, that God is going to give you just what you need. We got about 1 minute left. Is there anything you want to say to the ladies before we close?
What I can say to the ladies is that challenges and storms are proof that we are making our progress. The fact that Jesus was in the boat, but there was still a storm. So, as we women in Christ, without challenges, like it means that we are not making any progress. Like if we have challenges, that means if we have storms in life, that means we have made a decision of going on to the other side. And challenges are there to make us strong and to give us strength so that we can face our future. And as women, let's find rest in Jesus, because He is the only one who can calm the storm. Yeah, I think that's what I can tell the women, that let's find rest in Christ, because when we look unto the world, we will only be discouraged day and night. But if we look unto Christ, He is the only one who can give us rest, even in storm. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for those
Absolutely.
words of
Thank you so much.
encouragement. And what we are going to do, like I said, because the video wasn't working, can I have you come back again and talk with me after the new year?
Okay. Yes.
And what I would like to do also, Bridgid, is we're going to get your information. I'll have Leanna get your information. I want to send you a complimentary copy of my book, Rescue Me. And that's the book that I was talking about on the interview when you saw me. We're going to send you a free copy of Rescue Me. And I'm just going to ask you to do one thing for me. The next time that we talk, can you get a group of women together and let us talk with a couple more women? And we're going to talk about some of the things from the book and just life experiences. So we'll be in touch and we'll coordinate that. But I want you to go ahead and get on that now. Get some women together that wouldn't mind coming together with you, maybe 4 or 5 other women that can really share, and we can just talk more about life. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me. That's all the time that we have, guys. But we will be back with you again for another segment of Women Around the Globe. And who knows what country we're going to stop at next. But wherever we stop, we know that we're going to empower and encourage the beautiful women of God. God bless you guys. I love you. Have an absolutely fantastic day.